We spent an hour and a half on offense and about, a half an hour on defending them. We'll flip-flop that today. But yesterday was like all offense. Now today they all came in. We have one guy left that has to shoot, so everybody shot today. A minimum of half an hour, one-on-one, or one with actually three people rebounding for them. So they got up a lot of shots this morning, starting at 8. So everybody's had their shots in today, and then we'll go about an hour and a half here for practice today. Yesterday we were way longer, two and a half, which is not with a lot of talking though, a lot of teaching when we got to the defensive side. Offense, we were, because this team pressures you so much, and there's so much ball pressure and denial, and they're the best in the league at it. That it's not something you see every day, and so we're preparing for that onslaught.
We have talked about this a lot recently, just the play of Lamar. Have you had a conversation with him, or did you have a conversation with him in the past couple of weeks about just stepping up as far as being a leader?
No, I mean, you know what? He's taking it on his own, and he's gotten better and better. I was close to putting him back in the starting lineup earlier, and probably should have, because you see we're so much better with him, and especially the way he's playing. Like, that was the consummate point guard play against Missouri. 9 assists, phenomenal job defensively, leading, talking, and he's played well. He played very well against Alabama. He played well at Kentucky. And he's really, and he's putting a lot of time in, not just in practice. I mean, he's, at the point where, it's a fine line. We don't want you doing 4 hours a day because we need your legs. But he shot it well today. He and Tyson had really good shooting practices yesterday in our practice.
Still looking for a road win. Is there any reoccurring problems that you've seen in the past road games, or is it all kind of?
Well, the other teams are good. That's one of the problems. But bottom line is we've been right there. We've had our opportunity. We weren't close enough in Cincinnati or Florida, but the others we've had a chance. So we just got to close one out, and I'm confident we will.
You had mentioned that Lamar was put more work in. Is that before practice, after practice?
In the morning, especially prior to practice. So like on game day or last game, they were here an hour before the game, before a shoot around, and then down there for another hour. So that was 2 hours. Then they're another hour and a half before the game starts. I mean, I always worry about day of the game, making sure you have your legs, and it's a common debate. But he's putting a lot of time in, and a lot, and it shows. I mean, guys, like Q right now is putting a lot of time in, and I'm really seeing it, the benefits of it. I mean, he was incredibly efficient in our last game and played great defense. So an all-around game, his guy scores 5 points. He has 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. To go 7 for 9 from the field, I mean, that's an outstanding game.
What do you think a guy like Lamar's putting in more work nowadays?
I think part of it is, just getting healthy again. Being out for 2 months wasn't an easy thing, and, fighting your way back from that. And I think he's just really motivated. I think he's really excited. And, I was talking with Coach Williams after the game. I mean, when he plays like that, there's not many people who can defend him. I mean, he's pretty darn good when he's playing that way, and especially being that distributor. And he's shooting the ball better. We're going to see that as well in the remaining games, I believe, because he's being more patient. He's letting it come to him. My favorite play of the last game that he made was he stole the ball, made a great play. He had a layup, and he just said, "Here, Q, go dunk it." I mean, I love that, and to see a guy who turns down a layup to give his teammate a layup or a dunk. I mean, that's the other play, and I mentioned this last night at the radio show. The play of the game for all of us was Abdul finally shooting a left-handed jump hook when we've been on bended knee begging him to go to that thing. I don't know if you guys saw the bench, the whole bench. I mentioned after the game, jumped up. That was so great. And we were laughing about it yesterday, because adding that to his repertoire is going to make him much more effective turning to that right shoulder.
On Abdul, you mentioned that you wanted him to take more shots. He was 5 of 6 from the field against Missouri, right? Is 6 a good shot number?
Well, it just depends. But what I like is playing through him more. Like Q made a concerted effort to get him the ball multiple times early in the game, and we got it to him to start the second half. And playing through him, because he is a decent passer back out of the post. But playing through him and getting the ball down, because, he's still, looking to pass first, but we want him to look to shoot first when he's one-on-one. And, but we want to get him more touches so it collapses the defense. If you're just playing out on the perimeter and you have no inside attack, I don't think you're nearly as effective college basketball.
And you mentioned him going to his left once in the last game. And you've also mentioned he's not naturally aggressive offensively with his own shot. Is he a guy that's still kind of adding things to his arsenal, to his game?
Yeah, I mean, he's still learning, but he's always been a passer first and a shooter second, and we're trying to flip that. And all his teammates. So the great thing is, every single teammate, it's like, you got to shoot. I mean, you got to go to that left hand. I mean, it's like they're coaching him, and that's fun when you have when your team is coaching each other. That's beautiful.
What are you expecting to see when you go to Columbia tomorrow?
A really aggressive, physical South Carolina team with 2 starting bigs that started in the Final Four last year. They're really good, playing through them. Silva is the most physical and aggressive player in our conference. Plays with great aggression and physicality, plays extremely hard and with passionate. And then Kostar, I'm really impressed with. I was a year ago as a freshman. His skill level, his ability to shoot the three, put the ball on the floor, pass. I mean, he's exceptional. And their guards, they have 2 fifth-year transfers, Myers and Booker, that are really coming on and are very good players for them. So, they're a good team. I mean, they've beaten Kentucky. They beat Florida at Florida. They beat Georgia at Georgia. I mean, they have some outstanding wins. And they're, a formidable team. And they'll have, a great crowd, and it'll be a game. They play different defensively, even more so at home than on the road. And they're very aggressive, denial with their defense, all passes, and really try to rev you up and force you to backdoor and try to speed you up and try to get you to play faster than you normally would, and then force turnovers and get plays out of that. That's the game plan.
Keyshawn's a guy that's still kind of getting his feet wet a little bit, but how big of an upside does he have?
He has a great upside. I was with him this morning at 8 a.m. shooting, and really excited about him. He had a good practice yesterday. Unfortunately, Ryan had to send him to the health center because he's been feeling bad the last 24 hours, and we were concerned it was the flu. They said it's not the flu, just a cold, but he's been feeling down, and his ankle has been acting up, so he had that dealt with the other day on our last off day, I think it was. But he has tremendous upside. He's physical. He's willing to be very physical and aggressive with his body. He has these gigantic hands. He has great hands. I think his upside is big time for us and his future. And he's going to play tomorrow. I mean, this is a game where they average 29 foul shots attempted per game. There's going to be fouls in this game. That's how they play. We want to stay out of foul trouble, but that's where this thing's headed because that's how they play. So we're going to do our best to stay out of foul trouble and game plan towards that end. But 29 foul shots attempted per game is a lot of foul shots attempted.
Q, you've gone against South Carolina several times in your career. What kind of characteristics does their team have?
They just come out and play hard on the defensive end. We know that they don't usually be that talented offensively, but they play so hard on the defense end. They get up in you and try to press you to try to get you out your comfort zone. So we just got to take care of the ball and handle their pressure down there in South Carolina.
You guys haven't had just a ton of success on the road the last couple of years. Is there anything in particular that maybe you guys don't do as well on the road here lately that you got to fix to be able to close out a game on the road?
Just playing better down the stretch. I know on some of them road games we had to lead most of the game, and we just couldn't put a lot down the stretch. Be taking quick shots, having a couple breakdowns on the defense end. If we can get those things together and take care of the ball and take good shots, I think we can pull one out.
You mentioned taking quick shots and things. Is that a characteristic of being on the road in a hostile environment? Does it, I guess, pressure you to make decisions that you might not make at home?
I wouldn't say that. It's just that we be so anxious to try to get out of there with the win, and I think everybody just try to do it on their own instead of being as a team like we do it at home and just feed off our home energy.
Hey, there, you've been playing with Lamar now for a couple of years. What about him has changed the past couple of weeks to have him start to accumulate some better games than he had in the previous part of the season?
He just playing within the team, playing within himself. He just playing through us and things like that. He just trying to be a legit point guard instead of a scoring point guard. I think that has really helped him these last couple of games to make him play better. But he just wanted to get us involved instead of just trying to get himself involved all the time. So I feel like this is great for him.
How much is patience involved in that for him?
It's just him being himself, not letting nobody speed him up. He knows that he quicker than everybody he plays against, and just playing within himself. And if he get in that line and jump stop thing like Coach Holly tell him to do, he'd be great.
Coach has mentioned a few times that Abdul isn't one to kind of force the issue and get his own shot up, and that y'all have kind of hounded him about that too. What have y'all tried with him? How have y'all tried to get him to take a few more shots?
We just tell him to shoot the ball. Coach want us to play through him and things like that, so we just tell him once he get it down there, he got a good angle at it, we want him to put it up. Because he's ready to pass the ball out and things like that, so we just trying to build that confidence within him, just try to shoot the ball more.
How hard is it to force him to get those shots? That's not really.
It's hard. It's hard because that's something he don't do and something he don't like to do. So we just try to put it in him every day and practice, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. So I think he's been getting better at it these last couple of games.